Hey, Charlie, how are you today?
Hey, they're really well. I'm really excited, actually. We've been working on this project for ever such a long time, and then to be finally sitting here and looking. I must say, I turned on Apple TV and I had to came up with that tile that comes up and says, TV shows coming up, and there was Long Way Up, and I
Yeah.
said to my wife, Ollie, you got to come and look at this. This doesn't happen very
It's
often.
official.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
official.
it's
It's
official.
actually Eric. You know what? I have to say, I don't know if I'm envious of you and Ewan or if I'm just like a little freaked out about what you guys do. Listen, it was 13 years since
Yeah.
your last journey. And life gets in the way. I
Mhm.
get that. But why or how did you guys decide, we're going to do it again? And boy, are we ever going to do it in a different way.
Yeah, I think we've done two previously, and as you said, it's been quite a long gap in between, and lots of stuff has gone on, and Ewan moved over to the States, and I was over here, and then whenever he was over here making a movie, I was off doing a TV show somewhere else, and so we kind of sort of slowly kind of didn't become unfriends, but we just kind of sort of drifted along without sort of seeing each other, uh, and then I had this huge motorcycle crash and really messed up my legs quite badly, and in Portugal, and Ewan, and we sort of started to sort of talk because of that, and we kind of reconnected, and then I was stuck here, so I wasn't traveling anywhere or working. So then Ewan came over here, and then he stayed over at my house for a little while, and we kind of reconnected, and we'd always spoken about maybe doing another one, and and then of course, as you friends get together, and quite funnily, it was as if nothing had ever changed, as if 13 years hadn't really gone by, and we just carried on from where we'd left off. And then we started talking about doing a show, and then Russ and Dave, who are our business partners and producers, came by, and we had some food at my house, and Russ just floated the idea, and he said, what about electric?
Yes.
And it was like, oh, actually, what would make it different? What would make it more challenging? And of course, you and I, who are gung ho for anything, and happy to do whatever, quite optimistic about everything,
Yeah.
And said, yeah, no, electric sounds really easy.
Well, obviously it wasn't because
Yeah.
you have to finding charging stations, and I love that you're knocking on people's doors, going, "Hey, can we charge up?" Right here, and then you blow their fuses. I mean, really, come on.
Yeah, no, I mean, but that, I think that really kind of made the journey for us, because not only were we going on electric bikes, and you have all this range anxiety when you first start off, and it's a bit like when people first started driving petrol cars. You would have your petrol car at your home, and you think, I'm going to go down the road and I'll fill it up, but will we get there? And when we get there, will there be petrol and fuel? And so there was all that kind of anxiety then, and now there's petrol stations everywhere. But for us, in South America and Central America, there are no charging stations. There's no quick chargers, and so we kind of came across this idea that what we're going to do is we're going to get to where we're going to try and go, and then basically just not only plug the bikes in, but plug into people and their lives as well, and it really gave this amazing dimension to the whole journey, and a lot of humor to it as well, because we'd be sitting there, and you couldn't always plug both bikes into one socket. You would have to find another socket on the other side of the house and stuff, and so one side of the house would blow, and then I would get a charge. I remember one time we were in this kind of quite dodgy kind of place that we were staying in, and Ewan was trying to get a charge upstairs, and I was in the carport, and there was this sort of plug just hanging off the wall, and with all these wires, exposed cables, outside. And I kind of, when I plugged my bike in, it kind of, everything fizzled when I was doing mine, and I'm going, I've got to charge, and he couldn't. Then he plugged his into it as well, and we thought, there's no way they're going to charge both bikes, and boom, there it was. And I remember we were sort of sitting there, and we were just sort of slowly walking away, thinking, just don't make any movements in case it stops, So
Exactly.
So we would have, and then people were amazed by the fact that these were electric bikes and what we were doing. So I think at times it was super frustrating and pretty hard, but other times it was just hilarious, you know.
I'm sure. And, listen, I love taking these journeys with you guys. I'm glad that you're doing it and taking it for the team, because I don't think I could have handled it. But it has to be just such a humbling experience, and especially for somebody like Ewan McGregor, who is really one of the nicest guys in the world. But
Sure.
to go somewhere and then for people not to recognize him, how humbling. I mean, just it's
Yeah,
so wonderful.
We were up in Peru, right up in the mountains in this kind of remote town with UNICEF, and we were visiting this school, and interesting, you know, that school and education is so important for all of us around the world, and this school was set up, and a whole town has sprung up because of this school. And people move so that their kids can go to school, and they're teaching not only Spanish but indigenous language as well. And these kids are just busy with life. You know, there are no cinemas and stuff like that. And so, you know, when you were saying those kind of, they were just going, oh, I don't know, you know, I have no idea. I think, you know, if you said to them, do you recognize this bar of chocolate? They'd go, yes.
Of course.
But
listen,
you know,
Charlie, thank you so much for another amazing series. It's just so wonderful to watch you guys and what you go through. It's fantastic. And hey, listen, you know, think about your next journey. Okay, maybe you'll come through Canada next time. That would be good.
Yeah, well, you know, we had such good fun on the first one when we went to Canada, so we definitely come along again.
Good stuff. Great to have a chance to talk to you. Best of luck.
Yep.
Keep safe and healthy, and we'll be watching for you on Apple TV.
Brilliant. Take care. Thank you.
Bye bye.